Hi there, welcome to Flaming Rooster Barbecue. In this edition, we are going to do something that sounds really simple, but I have people ask me all the time about grilling chicken. Everybody grills chicken, and a lot of people complain about how dry it is and it doesn't have any flavor. So regardless if you're grilling this on a ceramic cooker or just a regular grill, one thing you have to do if you want moist, delicious chicken is brine it. Brining adds a couple hours to the process, but I promise you it's worth it. So we eat a lot of chicken in the house. We do this, on a every other week basis. We cook a lot of chicken and then save it for the week, and it's great. So brining is a simple process. You need salt, kosher salt, for any brine, and then you can get creative. And depending on what you're doing, we're doing chicken breast, so I'm going to do 3/4 cup of kosher salt. If you're doing a whole chicken, I'd recommend a little bit more, maybe a cup or even a cup and a half. And then you can get really creative on what you're going to brine it with. Today I'm going to use peppercorn, I'm going to use rosemary, I'm going to use some smashed garlic, and I'm going to use some lemon peel. But sometimes I don't have this stuff and I just use salt. So you can get creative with it, whatever you're cooking. If you're cooking it with a pasta that's got some tomato sauce, you can get creative on what would pair well with that. But this is just a good mix that we like that gives good flavor. So all we're going to do is add about 4 quarts of water to this, and I'm going to add all the ingredients, bring it to a boil, and then once it's to a boil, you need to cool it down. So if you have time, you can just leave it on the stovetop. If you don't have time, you need to add ice to it. You don't want to put the chicken in there while the water is warm, or it's going to cook your chicken a little bit, and then that's going to actually defeat the purpose of the brining. But what the brining does, especially with the salt, basically tenderizes that chicken and adds a ton of moisture after it's cooked and during the cook. And also all these flavors are going to get infused in there as well. So I'm going to get this going. We also get to try a brand new thermometer today that I'm excited about. And it's great for this because it's got multiple probes for all the chicken breasts. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, so I've got all the ingredients in the water. I'm basically just mixed it all up, and I'm going to let that boil. You just want to get it boiling enough to obviously melt and dissolve the salt, but also open up anything you have in there. So that rosemary and that lemon peel, that peppercorn and that garlic will really open up when you throw a little heat on it. But you don't want to boil it really. Just once it gets opened up or it's simmering a little bit, just turn it off and let it cool down. Okay, so the water has cooled down, and I put the chicken breast directly in this pot. So I'm going to cover this pot with cellophane, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for 4 hours. So whatever you want to put it in, Tupperware or a pan like this, just make sure you cover it and put it in the refrigerator for whatever long, at least 2 hours, but I'm going to do 4 for these chicken breasts. All right, so I let these things brine. Actually let them brine 5 hours instead of 4 hours because I got distracted, but that's fine. You can brine them longer, but these will be delicious. But brine them 4 hours. When you take them out of the brine, be sure to rinse them really good with cold water. You want to get all that salt off of there, and also any rosemary, anything else you got in the brine. Now I'm going to take these. I prefer to do this. You don't have to do this, but it's proven out to be crispier chicken and the moisture still there. Do them like this and keep them uncovered in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. And that gives them a little bit more crisp flavor, and it also just takes a little bit out of it, and they're just not so moist. Right now these things are really full of moisture because of that brine, and you're not going to lose any. But trust me, if you could spare the 30 minutes, put them in your refrigerator and then take them out and have that grill ready at 350 or 325, and you'll be good to go. All right, those chicken breasts have been in the refrigerator for 30 minutes uncovered, and then I took them out, and I just put Crazy Jane's mixed up salt on it. I love this stuff. It doesn't overpower the meat. When you do that brine, it's going to add a ton of flavor, and if you're grilling it or smoking it, you can put whatever rub on it you want. In my opinion, if you put too much rub on it, you're going to trick out the flavor too much and really get away from that brine and the chicken. But you see these probes in here. It kind of looks like a science project, but this is that T-Rex probe that I've gotten. It's great because on chicken breast everyone's different by different temps on the grill from front to back, and this really tells you what it is. So the mobile app's ready to go as well, so I could see at all times on the mobile app, and it's Bluetooth connected, so it'll notify me inside. But I'm going to get these on the grill. The goal is just to flip them one time, and you want that temperature at 350 at the most. Since you brined that meat, you could even cook it lower, 300. I don't recommend anything higher than 350. You're going to get the outside too crispy and cook first, and then the inside is going to take too long, and you have the potential to dry it out. So anywhere between really 300 and 350, you should be good to go. So we're going to get these on the grill. All right, so you see they're on the grill now. Got all 6 of them. I put the thickest one to the back. Typically the temperature runs hotter on these things in the back. Temp set to 350. I've actually got a little wood in there, a little hickory, to add a little bit of smoke, but I'm going to keep those on there for about 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and then flip them. Alright, so I'll let those go around 8 or 9 minutes and just flipped them. And the reading on the thermometers are all different, so I moved them around based on where the heat was. So the one on the middle left was hotter, so I changed them up. So that's one benefit of having these multiple meat probes, because they're all cooking at different temperatures and thickness. Alright, so the app just was barking at me and it said the yellow one was at 165. So I opened this up. Yellow coordinates here what's on the app. I put my tried and true here, and it is 165. So it is accurate, which is great because that's the only one done right now. So I know to take that one off with these probes, and I'll keep the rest of them going. Alright, we had one on there that was pretty thick, so that was the last one that was not up to 165. So put my thermometer in there, and it is 165, so that is good to go. So I'm going to take those off. You want these to rest for at least 10 minutes if you've got the time. Lets everything, all the juices kind of settle down in there, and they'll be good to serve. So let's go see how these look. Alright, so these have been resting for about 10 minutes. First off, I want to show you, this is the pan I was resting these in. You see that juice? If you just grill regular chicken without brining it, you're not getting that much juice. There's just no way. So let's take a cut into one of these and see how it looks. See if we can zoom in here. That is just dripping with moisture. It is perfect. So easy recipe, but the brine is key. Bon appetit.